Welcome back. So, there is concern in America for SAT takers. They have been preparing for the biggest test of their lives, the well-known SAT. Many of them are putting a lot of pressure on themselves for this exam because they want to use it, as John mentioned in part one, as their route to university. As it turns out, that's not the only route, and there are many universities that don't require the SAT test. But for those who care, for those who've been preparing, putting all their time and effort into practicing for this test, they have just discovered the method of administering the test is changing. So they won't be sitting in a classroom with pencil and paper anymore. They will be at a computer filling in an online test through this new testing system. So they're concerned. You know, I'm not ready for this. I think the SAT is coming up in April, May. Soon.
Sounds about right.
Pretty soon. And they feel like they perhaps haven't had adequate time to practice using this new mode of administering the test. But the test producers, the people who made this special program, say there are some benefits. That, first of all, there is an integrated calculator.
Ooh.
So you don't need to bring your own. That's apparently a benefit.
I know, I was like, wow.
Okay.
Like, so every computer?
And there is also a special algorithm which sort of grades the questions by difficulty, and then so it starts off with the easy ones. You go step by step, harder and harder. Every time you answer correctly, it will give you then the next level harder. But if you start to answer incorrectly, it will then sort of plateau and then gradually reduce the difficulty, and it will apparently then start to rise again if you keep getting the answers right. So it's supposed to prevent students from sort of getting stuck trying to answer all the hard questions. It allows them to focus on the easy ones first and progress through the test at the level that is appropriate to them. They also claim that this new algorithm system will take 1 hour off the full testing time. So in total, the students will spend less time in the test, hopefully reducing the stress somewhat.
Yeah.
There are concerns about this algorithm, though. You know, what if a very nervous student gets a lot of wrong answers just due to nerves at the beginning, and then the algorithm sort of forces them to stay at a very low and easy level when perhaps they could easily progress to the higher levels quicker. Unfortunately, it remains to be seen. So this generation, this year group of students will have to go through the test in this method as kind of guinea pig, as a kind of guinea pig, which is concerning, but I don't think they're going to change the system now. I think they are planning to proceed in this manner. So we'll have to see what happens when it happens. Anyway, in the article, I noticed the test, the SAT in the US, is referred to as the gold standard of standardized academic testing. What do you feel about this term? The SAT is the gold standard.
I am surprised to hear that. I think, like, if you compare the SAT to other tests in America, it is considered like the biggest standard. But going all the way to gold, I feel like to get a gold standard like label, you have to do something pretty good and special. I'm not sure if that describes the SAT so much. I know America was very obsessed with Korean education and also the Korean SAT for a while, but they didn't end up integrating that too much into the American education system. So yeah, gold standard, I don't know about that. I don't think a test which can be manipulated just by studying how to take it should be called a gold standard.
Yes, I think it gives a false opinion that somehow people who do well on that test are gold,
smarter,
or better than people who excel at other types of testing. And I think increasingly in the UK anyway, we've gone in this direction that we've moved away from testing of all kinds, I think, for my parents' generation, they had tests at the end of the year in all the different subjects. But these days, the tests are broken down into modules that you will take as the year progresses, and there'll be increasing focus on coursework and other elements. So they're not just testing your test-taking skills. They're testing a range of things that you can do. Anyway, so on that theme, in addition to test scores, what criteria do most universities use for evaluating their applicants?
Well, obviously your grades from high school. Your grades will be a big one. Letters of recommendation from people. Maybe some of your extracurricular activities that you have done. Those will be some of the top ones that universities want to have for your admission, along with the SAT, or the other one, ACT.
How about personal statements?
Personal statements?
Do you have to write?
Yes. I don't know if every college needs them, but a lot of them will want them or need them. But I don't know if it's every college. But yeah, that's a big one too. Personal statements.
I remember it being a big deal when I was getting in, that you had to really
impress them with your personal statement. I wonder if I wrote one. And I wonder what I wrote, because now I'm really interested. What did I think back then?
Yes. I wish I could go back and see it.
Yeah. And how does it compare to now?
I'd probably be quite embarrassed. It's probably terrible. Anyway, so you can avoid being embarrassingly terrible when you write something. Why not go down and check out the vocabulary list to bolster your vocabulary, and then hopefully you will be proud of your English, as I'm sure you already are. You should be. So enjoy that and come back and see us in the next article. Bye.
Take something with a grain of salt.
Take something with a grain of salt.
Out of one's league.
Out of one's league.
Choke.
Choke.
Myopically.
Myopically.
Objective.
Objective.